Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Saskatoon Willowgrove and Ken Cheveldayoff campaign office right here in Saskatoon. Welcome to all of our, not only our Saskatoon candidates, but to all of the candidates that came in from the surrounding area as well. And it's a great day for us to be in the great province of Saskatchewan. Now, over the first couple of weeks of this campaign, we have rolled out our platform commitments on behalf of the people of Saskatchewan. And today we are going to release our full platform, and it's our plan for that strong economy and the brighter future that we desire. It's a plan that builds on our record in government over the last decade and a half. It's a record of growth, more investment, more jobs, more opportunities, more people. In fact, 250,000 more people are in our province today relative to 2007 when we first had the honor to serve as your government. Saskatchewan has not seen that kind of growth for over 100 years. Quite monumental when you think about it. And we certainly never saw it under an NDP government in this province. Their record was something quite different than growth. They were driving away people, they were driving away jobs, and they were driving away opportunities. They were driving away investment and businesses in our communities. They were closing hospitals, they were closing schools, and they were letting our highways crumble from corner to corner in this great province. That was the NDP record, a record of decline, loss, and closure. And that's why we, the Saskatchewan Party, are running on our record, while we see the NDP actually running away from theirs. But we're not just running on our record. We have a plan that builds on that very record that is based in growth. Saskatchewan today is the most affordable place in Canada to live. And this party, your Saskatchewan Party, has a plan to make it even more affordable in the future. Saskatchewan today has the lowest inflation rate in the nation of Canada. That's thanks in a large part to our government's decision, your government's decision, to take the NDP Trudeau carbon tax off the way that we heat our homes in this province. Saskatchewan has the lowest unemployment rate, and we have strong job growth in each of our communities across Saskatchewan, and we have a plan to keep our economy strong and to continue to create new jobs in this province. Just yesterday, Statistics Canada came out with their jobs report, and due to Saskatchewan's growing economy, due to the investment that we see in our province, we created this last year in Saskatchewan 17,200 jobs. That is a new job being created in our province each and every 30 minutes for the entire year. Now, that's a far cry from where we were 17, 18 years ago under the NDP. There was actually a new job being created for a Saskatchewan person every 30 minutes under the NDP government, but the problem is that job was being created in Alberta, and our kids had to go there to get it. Today, we have record population growth. We have job growth in our province. We have housing starts. We have capital investment coming into our province. We have more police officers to keep our communities and our families safe. We have more doctors and nurses offering those services in our communities in this great province. We're building new hospitals, not closing hospitals. We're building new schools. That is the record of the Saskatchewan Party, and that is the value proposition that myself and these candidates are putting before the Saskatchewan people. We have a plan, and it's a plan for the future of our province. But we also realize that today, Saskatchewan families and individuals are feeling the pressures of increased cost of living and expenses that they're facing, whether it be them or their entire family. And that's why we have a plan to make Saskatchewan even more affordable for homeowners, for families, for seniors, for students, and to make Saskatchewan more affordable for everyone that lives here. We're helping you buy your first home. We're helping you renovate the home that you own. We're covering the cost of life-changing diabetes monitoring technology. We're helping families with the costs of your kids' sporting and cultural activities. We're helping young entrepreneurs and small businesses. We're increasing the graduate retention program so that more young people will be able to stay right here at home. We want you to keep more of your hard-earned money so we will also lower your income taxes. And what does the NDP leader call each and every one of these investments? Investments in Saskatchewan families and people. Well, she calls them trinkets. She said, we're doling out trinkets to Saskatchewan people. Well, I would say to the leader of the opposition or any NDP candidate, tell that to Curtis, who used the first-time home buyer's credit to help him and his fiancée buy their very first home in Regina, Saskatchewan. I would say to any NDP candidate, tell that to Molly, who is 22 years old and will qualify for free glucose monitoring supplies. Tell that to Jake and Luke, who will be accessing the expanded graduate retention program. And they are just some of the young people that are choosing to live and stay in Saskatchewan. Tell that to 54,000 people. 54,000 Saskatchewan residents that will no longer be paying any provincial tax whatsoever. These commitments for people like Luke, Molly, Jake, and Luke, Molly, Curtis, Molly, Jake, and Luke, and so many other people across the province of Saskatchewan, they're not trinkets. They're investments, direct investments in them, in their lives, and the lives of so many Saskatchewan people. And while we make the effort to make life more affordable here, we know there is one thing that is driving up the cost for everything and for everyone, and that is the NDP Trudeau carbon tax. And we remember a few weeks ago in this nation when the leader of the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, announced that he was going to rip up the supply confidence deal that he had with Trudeau. Well, that lasted about 2 weeks only, until the very first vote in the House of Commons. The very first chance that he had to get rid of Trudeau and the carbon tax, what did we see the NDP do? Well, instead of voting to get rid of Trudeau, instead of voting to get rid of the carbon tax and save all Canadians money, including those that live in this province, the NDP voted to save Trudeau, they voted to save the carbon tax and cost Canadians even more money into the future. It's nothing more than an act. Just like the Saskatchewan NDP is putting on an act today when they say they don't support that very NDP Trudeau carbon tax. Don't believe it for a minute. NDP MLAs and candidates in this province are on record voicing their full support for that NDP Trudeau carbon tax. When they had a chance to vote for Saskatchewan people, and when they had a chance to vote for all of us that live in this province, they voted against those very people and they voted for that NDP Trudeau carbon tax. Voting for the carbon tax, voting against the people that live and reside in our great province. That's the record of the NDP, and I would ask any NDP candidate, how could you do that? How could your party do that to Saskatchewan people? Fortunately, there is a party that will always be on the side of the people that live in this great province, and that's the Saskatchewan Party with all of our candidates here today. Our vision, the Saskatchewan Party vision for this province, it goes far beyond a 4-week campaign. It goes far beyond a 4-year political cycle that we see. Our vision, our plan for this great province, it's a long-term plan. It's called a plan for growth. We are not here this week or this 4-week campaign cycle to buy your votes with your own money. We will not make promises that are costly and I would say irresponsible in many cases. The platform that we are putting forward today, it's fully costed, like it has been every election that we have run. And we have seen the NDP platform, it is not. And did we all see what happened yesterday? A week ago, let's go through the last week or so. A week ago, the NDP, they released their first attempt at their costing their platform, so at their costing document. They forgot to account for about $3 billion in that first attempt. So we helpfully pointed that out, and that's what we do. So yesterday, they released what is essentially a do-over of that costing document. Then what they were trying to do is to correct some of the errors and the omissions that were in that first costing document. So at this time, now they got the revenue line and the expense line mixed up. So the revenue line was in place of the expense line was in place of the revenue line. That's a pretty big error. So I don't know what they're going to do for version 3 or do-over number 3. Maybe they'll just come out with a picture of a money tree and show that to Saskatchewan people. And you know, it would be funny, except this is a party that is vying to be your government. And they did so much damage to the province the last time that they had that honor. You can't believe their first platform. You certainly can't believe their second platform. And do you really believe them when they tell you that they're not going to raise your taxes to pay for it all? The fact is they left a $3 billion uncosted and irresponsible hole in that very document that they have, and they didn't tell Saskatchewan people how they were going to pay for it. And I would suggest it's because they don't intend to pay for it. You will, each and every one of us. You contrast that with the Saskatchewan Party platform that is responsible, it's achievable, and it will see Saskatchewan's budget back to balance in 2027. A total cost of the Saskatchewan Party plan is $1.2 billion over the term of government. That is, more than 3/4 of that is tax reductions. Tax reductions as opposed to new government spending. That's the big difference that we see between the two parties today. And that's the choice for Saskatchewan voters. The Saskatchewan Party wants to leave more money in your pockets for you and your family to spend. The NDP wants to take more money out of your pockets so that they can spend it for you. They will raise your taxes, and don't let their campaign slogans fool you. They have a history of promising no new taxes, and then the first act in government is they will raise your taxes. They will increase the deficit, leaving the burden to your children and to your children's children. Or they will start canceling projects, like the urgent care center that's being built here in Saskatoon, like the St. Paul's Hospital renovation, like the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital that has been built here in Saskatoon under this government. Their record and their plan is one of decline, loss, and closures. And let's never go back to that in this province. Today, our Saskatchewan economy is strong, it's vibrant, and it's growing, and we want to keep it that way so that everyone in Saskatchewan has that opportunity for a bright future. That's our record, and that's our plan for the future. And in the next few days, we're going to be sending out a summary of our plan to every Saskatchewan household. And you can find our fully costed 75-page platform on the Sask Party website, and it's a plan for a strong economy. It's a plan for keeping life affordable for Saskatchewan families. It's a plan for building Saskatchewan, and it's a plan for our growing province. And our plan for investing in those very dividends of growth into healthcare, into education, and into so many services that are important to you and your family wherever you live. But it's also a summary of our record. Our record of growth versus the NDP record of decline, loss, and closures. And I would hope that every voter in Saskatchewan would take time to read this document that we were going to send them prior to making their choice on October the 28th. That is why we're sending it to them. We all have a choice to make on October 28th in this province between the Saskatchewan Party and that has stood against the Trudeau carbon tax since day one, before it was even cool, or the NDP who supported it then and I would say support it today. Saskatchewan people have a choice on October the 28th between a Saskatchewan Party that wants to continue to grow our economy or the NDP who want to grow government. Between the Saskatchewan Party who want to make it easier for drug addictions treatment to be available to our friends and family wherever we live in this province, or the NDP who want to make it easier to access illegal drugs. It's a choice between the Saskatchewan Party that is hiring more police officers to keep you and your family and your community safe, or the NDP who will actually cut officers from our community and buy you a doorbell camera. Between the Saskatchewan Party who has a record of hiring doctors and hiring nurses and hiring medical professionals to offer services in new hospitals and expanded healthcare facilities, or the NDP whose record is one of firing doctors and firing nurses. Between the Saskatchewan Party who have worked so hard to ensure that our young people have an opportunity to stay here, or the NDP who drove them away. Between the Saskatchewan Party that is actively building schools, 28 of them today, building hospitals, building and improving our highways to make them safer for our families that travel down those highways, or the NDP, who closed schools, closed hospitals, and actually told Saskatchewan people to go out and fix their own highways. It's a choice between the Saskatchewan Party that is putting money right back in your pocket, or the NDP who will empty out your pockets. It's a choice between the Saskatchewan Party that will keep our economy strong and our future so very bright, or the NDP who will take us back to decline, loss, and closure. And this is why I'm asking all of you that are here today, our Saskatchewan Party candidates and all of the volunteers that have joined us, please keep working hard like I know you have. Talk to every voter about that important choice that they have on October the 28th. Talk to them about our plan. It is not a 4-week plan, not a 4-year plan, but it is a plan for growth for our province and for our children. And work so very hard like you have been to earn the support of Saskatchewan people. And that's what we are here to do as candidates and volunteers. And I know this. I know that if we do that, we can all look forward to a great result on election night, and Saskatchewan people can look forward to such a bright future. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Scott, can I just have 1 minute with you? We were out campaigning with Mr. Cheveldayoff yesterday. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a boy from Aylsham, Saskatchewan. So please take your signs with you, equipped, ready to stand up. So you knock on the door and you say, "Hi, I'm here for David Buckingham or Ken Cheveldayoff." You support them, don't you? And they say yes, and bingo, up goes the sign. You just keep on going. Scott, and you're writing as well.